Hello everyone, welcome back to Cybervale. I hope the previous video that we have discussed about the day 9 module of the theoretical part that is related to the types of password attacks, that is brute force, dictionary attack, rainbow table attack, and tools regarding the Hydra, John the Ripper, of Crag or Medusa is pretty clear to you guys, and you guys have understood and you are enjoying this journey particularly. If you guys are enjoying this journey, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be really grateful for your precious feedback and reviews so that I can keep on continuing my ethical hacking journey with you guys, so that I can also get a bit of a confidence that my audience is loving my content that I'm sharing with them. So please don't forget to mention your comments, guys. And for the today's video, I am here back to you with a hands-on session, as I have promised that for the hands-on there will be a new video. So here we are today to discuss about the hands-on session. And for particularly hands-on session, what we basically are going to do is we are going to learn how to crack the weak passwords using the Hydra and John the Ripper. John the Ripper. We all are going to discuss in this particular video regarding the cracking the weak passwords using the Hydra and John the Ripper. As we have already discussed that John the Ripper, just give me a second. John the Ripper is basically to crack the offline passwords passwords and whereas Hydra is the tool used to crack online passwords. So we are going to see both the ways of cracking the passwords. Rather, it could be for the online cracking of the passwords or for the offline cracking of the passwords. So in this video, I'm going to share my tools and techniques that I have been using to perform these kind of attacks in for testing my companies or something like that. You can say we are just going to hop onto this journey and we are going to learn it. We are going to enjoy a lot in this journey. So please tune in for upcoming videos and do not forget to subscribe the channel for upcoming videos as well. So here we are going to discuss about firstly what to do while we are going to crack the weak passwords. Just give me a second. Cracking the weak password using the John the Ripper. Firstly, we are going to learn how to do it using the John the Ripper, and it is basically present in the it is basically present in the Kali Linux more of the time. I'll be showing you if it is visible. We'll be performing it directly using John the Ripper. So firstly, if you do not have Kali Linux in your system, what you're going to do is John the Ripper in your Kali Linux. What you're going to do is firstly install the John the Ripper. And what is going to be the command for this particular thing? You can just use apt install, and or you can just go ahead with a sudo. If you are not a sudo user, you have to just do it sudo apt install and then John, and you're going to use the y. This is how you're going to install John the Ripper in your system. And then what you're going to do for Mac users, some of you might be using for Mac. So for Mac users, this is going for the early up above one was for the Kali Linux, but for Mac you can just do brew install John. Then that's how you can directly install John the Ripper in your system. After doing that, what you have to do is you have to generate a password hash to simulate an attack on your system or on your particular password. And I'll be showing you the command for that particular thing, but for now just take the steps and write down the steps in order to understand what we are going to do in order to perform cracking of the weak password using John the Ripper. So after generating the password hash, what you are going to do is you are going to crack the hash with John the Ripper using the command that I'm going to show you in the Kali Linux. So or I'll also be writing here later on so that you can take a screenshot in order to remind it, and just keep a note of these command guys, because you guys won't be able to remember all the commands, as sometimes I myself forget what are the commands for using all these things, as I also need to take sometimes help of my notes that I have prepared in order to get a hold that I have to use this command in order to do this task or to perform this task. So without wasting time, let's just hop on to our Kali Linux, and I'll be showing you how you can perform this particular John the Ripper. Let's just see what we can do. Just give me a time. It's loading. Yeah, here you can see, let's say if in our tools and techniques we have our John the Ripper. Let's just search John the Ripper. I guess we do not have in this. I don't think so that we have John the Ripper, so we have to install, guys. Just give me a second, let me check if we have John the Ripper. It's John, I guess. Yeah, it might be John. I don't remember it particularly. Let me see if it is John the Ripper or something like that. Oh, John, yeah, it is John the Ripper. Guys, in Kali Linux, as you can see, you will be able to find in your, you can say, in your Windows section of the Kali Linux, you can just go and search for the John, and you'll be able to see it as a John written over here. Just going to click on the John, and here it is showing a tool to find weak passwords of users. So we are just going to click on this, and you can see that it's opening. It is already open. User share Kali menu helper scripts for john.sh, and you can see it is showing a manual for John, how you can perform and how you can use John the Ripper in order to perform the particular John the Ripper. John helpers are there. You can use these commands or in order to perform John the Ripper. This is a manual for the John the Ripper. Now moving on further, just give me a second and let me run the John. Run John. Okay, John. Yeah, run John. Let's see if it runs in such a way as well. It's not running, I guess. Okay, no issues. We'll just let's install it in a simpler way, or just we can just directly hop onto the second password second step, that is generate a password hash. And for generating a password hash, let me just get back to the page. Yeah, to generate the password hash, let's just create, guys, let's create a, you can say a weak password hash to simulate an attack. Here we are going to create a password hash that is going to simulate that particular attack in simpler words, so that you can see how we can use the John the Ripper. I'm going to create it. So what we are going to do is echo, and I'm going to write my password, as it is my password. We are just thinking that it is my password, and then I'm going to use a pipe so that we can just do open SSL, because we are going to crack the password using open SSL, PASSWD for password. Then we are going to give just give me a second, stdin, because we want this standard out input, we are giving a standard input for this. And then we are just going to use here this particular, you can say, the, I don't remember what do we say this, so just, and then we are going to use password dot txt, because we want our password to be stored. This stdin is going to input our password hash key into the password.txt file that we are creating right now. Or you can just also give rocku.txt so that it can directly store into rocku.txt. Guys, is already let me just write it down so that you guys can remember it. Just give me a second. Yeah. Here what we are doing is we are using password.txt. We are creating it, actually we are creating it as and we want the standard input, we want the standard input of of our hash of a generated hash value to be stored into the password.txt file, password.txt file. Or you can use rocku, just give me a second, rocku.txt, which is already the password Kali password txt file, which is known with the name of rocku.txt. That means that the rocku.txt file is already present in the Kali Linux, and you can use it as well instead of creating your own password.txt file. But here we want to create our own password.txt file. So I'm using password.txt file, or you can name it as however you want to name it, or as you wish to name it. So you can also store that generated hash into your rocku.txt, and when you will be just what you will be doing, you will be cracking the hash with the John the Ripper. You can use rocku.txt instead of password.txt file if you are using the rocku.txt file. So here I am using the password.txt file that I am creating, and I want my standard input to be stored into the password.txt. So here I am going to just enter it, and it have created my password.txt file. Let's just check ls, and I look, you can see the password.txt file, and now we can just also see cat password.txt. And when you will see cat password.txt, you can see that we have generated a hash for my password that was given as my password. I have given my password as my password. So this echo and openssl passwd have created generated me a generated me a hash for my password, and that's how you can create and generate the hash for it. Now let's just crack the hash with John the Ripper. And what you are going to do it, you are going to use a file, you are going to use a command for this, particularly John is already present, so it is showing us in blue. If John wouldn't have been present, we have to install it, and it won't be showing us in color blue. So you can get to know that John is installed in your pre-installed in your system. So using John, I am going to use password.txt. Password.txt. Why? Because my hash is stored in password.txt, and that's how you can just do is, you can just word list if that yeah, and if the rocku.txt, if that word list equals to, just give me a second, word list is equals to user, then share word lists, and then you can just use rocku.txt. If that password of yours that you have given here, I just as I have given my password, that if that particular my password is present in rocku.txt, it will just give me then it will just you can say crack the hash of, then the John will crack the hash of my particular password and show me the output. Now just see. Yes, it is giving detected hash type. It is an SHA to F512. Yes, and what we have generated was actually a SHA 512 hashed password. It is showing, but the string also recognized as HMAC SHA 256, using the format option to force loading these as a type instead, using default input, that is encoding. So loaded one password hash, it have already loaded as one password hash, and will run open. You can just okay. Yeah, rocku.txt is not present in my system because I might have not installed it, guys. And how you can basically install it, as it was pre-installed, it is a Kali Linux, that what we say, Kali Linux uh, password file, but I haven't installed it, or I haven't kept it in my system, so that's why it is showing. But if you want to install, or you can you want to have your pre-compiled text file, what you can do is you can just go to your Firefox or your browser and just go ahead and search for the seclist. Seclist is basically, as I have promised that I'll be showing you that seclist's GitHub file for the particular password cracking. You can just click on seclist GitHub, Okay, we are having trouble finding this site. Okay, try again, try again. No, it is not showing me. Just give me a second, guys. Sec lists. Might be there comes an issue with my network, that's why it is showing. Sec lists GitHub. Okay, it's not showing me. Might be there is some issue with my network. Just give me a second. I'll just show you. Okay, if it is not working, we can just see it in my browser, in my Google browser. And here we goes. We can just search for seclist GitHub, and you can just go ahead here. You can see Daniel Missler. You can just click on this particular and you can install it in your system. From here you can see in readme seclist you have this. You can just have it this way as well. You can install the zipped file, then unzip it, and or you can also get or you can also just clone this in your system using this particular git clone https github.com. Then okay, let me just do it for you. Or you can also see for the rocku.txt rocku password list github, and you can just install it this way as well. And from here you can just click on this particular rocku.txt file, and that's how. Okay, just give me a second, it's not showing me. Yeah, rocku.txt. Here you can see rocku.txt number 1 and number 2, and these are the updated one as well. And you can just go for the rocku.txt.zip. It is not available right now, but just give me a second, we'll just see if there is any available. No, it's not available, so there is some issue. So you can just go for the checklist and you can install it using the git as I have shown you. You can just install copy paste it and just install it in your system in your Kali Linux, and then you can use it. So that's how you basically crack the, you can say you basically crack using John the Ripper. And that's how things work for John the Ripper. I guess it is clear, guys, how you have to perform using John. I'll just write down the commands for you guys so that you can get a benefit out of it, and you can understand and take a screenshot so that later on you can just understand how to do it. Let me write down the commands for number one. Number one, I have already written that how you can install John if your system doesn't have John. Sudo apt install John by. Now for the second step, what is the command that you can use is, as I have stored, to generate a password hash. What you can do is you can use generate whatever your password is. I'm just writing it here, password, whatever your password is. And I am using these parameters, or you can say these parentheses, in order to tell you to have to write your own password. Do not write any other password or the password you have already got, or you can just generate out of it. So do not use parentheses while you are performing the command, just use the password. I'm giving it for your sake so that you can understand why we are using this. Then give a piping, and after giving the piping you can just write open SSL and then pass WD. After giving pass WD, just give 6. That 6 is basically to tell about SHA512 hashed password, that we want SHA512 hashed password. And then we are going to give the stdin, no, that means standard input, for particularly having our password .txt, that we want to store that standard input into the password.txt file that is generated with it itself. And then you can use the third command to crack the hash with the John Ripper. You are going to use the John password.txt, and if you have your sec list or word list or rocku.txt, you can use any of them. You can just give here word lists equals to user dot slash share slash word lists. Just give me a second, word lists, yeah, word lists. And then you can give either, it could be rocku.txt or seclist or seclists, or you can say any other, whatever you want to give. Seclists, yeah, you can give any of them, word lists or seclists. And then you can just press on enter, and you will be able to see that John the Ripper actually cracked your password, cracked the hash with the John the Ripper. And similarly, in case of original and the real life scenario, what you can do is, if you got the shell after getting the privilege escalation, as I have told you, just let's say, if let's say you got the let's just take an example. Okay, just let's just take an example. Let's say this is a system of the victim. Just give me a second. It is a victim system, and you got the escalation, privilege escalation. You got your privilege escalated. Just let me write down here. You got your privileges escalated using the exploits, or you can say exploits, or you can say using netcat listening and everything. Netcat listening. You got the privileges escalated, and after you got the privileges escalated, oh, you are able to see the users into that particular system. What you are able to do? Users listed into the system as user 1, user 1 or user 2. User listed into the system as user 1 or user 2, and you want to crack the hash of and they are stored in the hash. Then their passwords are stored into, you can say, let's just take an example. Let's just write it here, that the passwords are stored in the hashes. So what you can just basically do is, you can just basically crack those local hashes of the user available available crack those local hashes of the user available using JTR, that is John the Ripper. I guess this is pretty clear, and you guys have understood how to use John the Ripper in order to crack the password. And that's how you can just get a hold of it, and you can just use John the Ripper. So moving on further, we have the second way that I have mentioned, cracking the password using the just give me a second. Yeah, using the Hydra. Hydra is an online tool, guys. Is an online tool, and it might also be available in your Kali. Let's just see if it is available or not. Clear. Let me just see. Uh, Hydra. Yeah, Hydra is also available, and you can also check it from here. How you can just check it from here? Hydra. Look, it is available here. It is showing Hydra. Hydra is available. That means just click on Hydra and see what it shows us. Let's just see. Yeah, Hydra, it is available, and you can just enter the services to attack. FTP, you want FTP services or SSH services or HTTP post forms, you can just directly see for it. Clear. Exit. Just give me a second, guys. Let me exit all, as I have this problem that I cannot work with lots and lots of load over here. Yeah, you can just write over here and you can just run it. So before I just casually tell you how to perform password cracking using Hydra, we are just going to learn the steps of this particular thing as well. So here in this particular thing, what you are going to do is just number one, same as John, if it is not installed in your system, you can install using sudo apt install Hydra, and then give the -y. And second step is, here the second step is going to change, and that is going to run Hydra against SSH server. We are going to run Hydra against the SSH server, and I have a request to make for this particular thing. Only perform Hydra if you are just practicing, only perform Hydra if you have the test server. If you have your test server set up, then only perform the Hydra, because Hydra is a very solid tool to perform password cracking, and if you do not have SSH test server, or you can say any kind of test server over your system, do not perform it because it may cause a chaos. So as I do not have any particular test server right now, so I'll just be showing you the commands that you can use in order to perform a Hydra to crack the passwords. And then after doing this particularly, what you're going to do is after running the Hydra, you are going to just get the output out of it. If the Hydra finds out, you just got the output. If it is able to find the correct one, if it is able to find the correct just give me a second, yeah, find the correct one for this. So that's how you're going to perform Hydra. But for the command for the Hydra, what you can do is I'll explain and each and every command to you. For the second one, as I have told you for the first one to install Hydra, for the second one, what you are going to do is you are going to use Hydra and then lroot, and after that you're going to give the p command, that is for user, and then share again, then word lists, and after that you are going to have rocku.txt, either just give me a second, rocku.txt or seclist.txt, whatever it is, seclists you can use. And then you are going to do is SSH. After using this particular thing, you are going to do SSH colon, then double slashes, and then you are going to give the IP address of whatever SSH you have got that, or whatever SSH services open for that particular IP address, and that's how you're going to use this. So after doing this, let me break down everything for you so that you can understand what is the particular thing. Lroot. What is the use of lroot in this particular command? Lroot, Hydra is a tool. Lroot is basically to specify the username. That means L is basically to specify the username, and root is basically root username, you can say. If you know the root username, you can just use that, or you can just use a instead of root, you can also use particular username you wanted to find the that means password for. And then after that comes the, you can say, procku.txt, just give me a second, capital P, and then comes the rocku.txt, rocku.txt, that is basically to specify the name of the list, just give me a second, name of the word list that we are using to get to guess the password. Okay, this command is basically for this. And after that, SSH double slash and the IP address, this basically describes that this basically describes that it is a target SSH that we want to hunt on. So I guess this is clear, and you can use, I'm not showing it to you on particular system because I don't have a test server in order to perform this Hydra, but you can perform it in this way. And as you have seen how to perform John the Ripper, and you can also crack it using the Hydra as well. It is an online tool, and why it is stated as an online tool, because it is showing us to use the SSH, FTP or HTTP login forms. We can perform this particular task on those login forms that we wanted to connect and perform the password cracking. So that's how you can perform the password cracking. And I hope this topic is pretty clear to you guys, and you enjoyed this hands-on session learning how to crack the passwords if you want to crack it. So please do it for the educational purpose only. Do not use for malicious intent. Again, repeating it in the each and every video, I'm repeating this. So please take care of it, and I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and also share it with your friends and colleagues so that they can also benefit out of it. And also enjoy the journey. And if you're enjoying the journey, please drop down your precious comments. I'm more than glad to see your precious comments in the comment section. So till the time, take care guys, bye bye, see you soon in the next video, bye bye.